Hello students, welcome to my channel English All New Academy. This video deals with a poem from Standard 12, Flamingo. The poem is An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum. Before we begin the explanation, I request you to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to get the latest videos. This poem has been divided in two parts. Part 1 deals with stanza-wise explanation and theme of the poem. Part 2 deals with figures of speech. I request you to watch both the videos. Let's begin with the poem. We can see that the poem is about the children who are studying in elementary school classroom. Elementary means primary school and the school classroom is located in a slum area. Through this poem, the poet has tried to bring out the miserable plight of the children who study in the school classroom in a slum area. This poem is written by a great poet, Stephen Spender. In his poetry, we find that the themes are related to such social realities like injustice, social discrimination, and the miserable plight of poor people. In this poem also, he has tried to depict the miserable plight of children who live in slums. Let's read the lines. Far from the gusty waves, these children's faces, like rootless weeds, the hair torn round their pallor, the tall girl with her weighed down head. These lines are very significant because through these lines we understand that how miserable the children are who study in slum area. Here we can see that the poet has tried to compare the children with rootless weeds and their hair also with rootless weeds because we can see that these children their faces are pale. Pallor means pale because they are not getting enough food to eat. They are devoid of all the basic necessities of life. They are malnourished and that's why they are not healthy like the other children who get all the facilities. So here they are compared with the rootless weeds. Weeds are the small plants or the grass which is unwanted. In the same way here we can also see the theme that they are living in such a condition that no one cares about them and they are like this unwanted weeds. Another comparison that has been made out is with their unkempt hair. Their hair are not even combed, they are torn. Means they are unkempt like the rootless weeds whom nobody cares about. And we also can see that the phrase gusty waves, it shows that they are devoid of all the beautiful scenes, all the beauty of nature because they are confined to the four walls of the classroom and their small hut. Then the poet talks about the tall girl whose head is weighed down. Now why is the head weighed down? क्यों इसका सिर झुका हुआ है? Because she is poverty stricken. She is so poor that she is so much depressed and she feels that she is very unfortunate to be in such a condition. The paper seeming boy with rat's eyes. The poet now talks about a boy who looks like paper because he is as thin as paper. This shows that he doesn't get enough food to eat. That's why he is very weak and thin. His eyes are compared with the rat's eyes because his eyes seem too big on his face, which is withered. The stunned, unlucky heir of twisted bones, reciting a father's gnarled disease, his lesson from his desk. Now, here, who is the stunned, unlucky heir and why he is called unlucky? Because the boy, heir means the child, we can say the son who inherits the property of parents. So here we can see that the boy is called unlucky because he has inherited the disease of bones from his father and he is reading the lesson from his desk. The poet then talks about one unnoted, sweet, and young. His eyes live in a dream of squirrel's game in a tree room other than this. Now, here he is talking about a boy who is sitting at the back of the dim class. Here, the word dim has been associated to class because there is no light also in the classroom, there is no any kind of facility, there is no conducive atmosphere in the classroom. That's why the boy is not very much interested in what is being taught, and that's why he is thinking about the squirrels playing in a tree room and he is sitting unnoticed by anybody. Here we can see how the classroom also doesn't have any facility and the children they do not get any kind of conducive environment to study. Of sour cream walls, donations, Shakespeare's head, cloudless at dawn, civilized dome, riding all cities. The poet here brings out the dark reality that is, the walls of the classrooms are dirty. Comparison has been made between sour cream and the dirty walls. The walls have turned yellowish like the cream that is sour, and the names of the people who gave donations for the school classroom, for the school, also are displayed on the walls. There is also a picture of Shakespeare's head, that is Shakespeare, but these are all meaningless for the children. Then he talks about cloudless at dawn, civilized dome, writing all cities. Dawn means early morning, which is shown cloudless in a picture, and there are also pictures of civilized domes which represent the life that the people of cities live. यहाँ पर पोएट ने दिखाया है कि वॉल पे सावर क्रीम वॉल का जो कलर होता है उस तरह की दीवारें हो गई हैं, बहुत ही डर्टी लग रही हैं और उस पे पिक्चर्स कुछ लगी हुई हैं, but these are not at all meaningful for the children. Belled flowery Tyrolese Valley. There is also the picture of a beautiful Tyrolese Valley. The valley is very beautiful. It is located in Tyrol, which is in Austrian Alpine province. It is a region. So here he talks about the beautiful things that are consisted by the valley. The flowery valley belt means maybe the sheep are grazing, the cattle are grazing, and it is the bells that they have. Then he talks about open-handed map awarding the world its world. There is also the map in the classroom which though divided because many of the countries are divided from one another, it gives a total view of whole world to the children. And yet, for these children, these windows, not this map, their world, where all their future is painted with a fog. These lines also are very significant because they convey the message that all these things which are on the wall are of no use to the children because their life is confined to the dirty classroom, to the slum area, and the windows of the classroom. This map is of no use to them. Why? Because they are unaware about the world outside. They are unaware about the beautiful places. They do not know that in the world, beautiful places like Tyrolese Valley do exist. They do not know that the world is full of happiness and beautiful things, and that's why the poet says that their future is painted with a fog, means their future is uncertain because they are not getting proper education, they are not even getting food to eat, and fog here shows a very negative kind of picture. When there is fog, we cannot see clearly. In the same way, they cannot say about their future. They do not know what they are going to do in their lives, and that's why this is a very, we can say, dark picture and the dark reality of the children who live in slum areas. A narrow street sealed in with a lead sky, far, far from rivers, caves, and stars of words. Here we can see that the poet again focuses upon the future of the children, and he feels that their future is sealed in with a lead sky. Lead here means dull, dark. That is, their future is not clear. They are very uncertain. They do not know what they would do in their future, means they are not certain about their career. He also brings out the fact that they are unaware about the beautiful things that exist in the world, and these things are rivers, caves, that is peninsulas, and these things for them are like the stars, and they think that it is not possible to touch the stars, means it is not possible to reach these things of beauty. It shows their miserable plight. Here, the poet says that they will not be able to learn the literature. That's why Shakespeare is wicked. The map, a bad example, with ships and sun and love, tempting them to steal. Here we can see that the poet has shown how it is impossible for them to learn about the literature, about the works of Shakespeare, because the environment is not conducive to learning, and the map also will not be understood by them because the world for them is the area in which they live. That is the world which is full of poverty, which is full of sorrows, which is full of grief, which is full of hunger. Here, the poet says that with ships and sun and love, tempting them to steal. So, why do they need to steal? These children, they cannot possess all these things, and that's why when they see the comforts of life, when they see the ships, when they see the other things of comfort, they want to steal them for lives that slyly turn in their cramped holes. Now, here, cramped holes means the small huts where it becomes unbearable even to breathe, and their lives, they are just confined to these cramped holes, which are the dark huts, and that is the life for them from fog to endless night, means from early morning till night. What is the world for them? Just the hut and their poverty. On their slag heap, these children wear skins peeped through by bones and spectacles of steel with mended glass like bottle bits on stone. On their slag heap means the bodies of the children, it looks like garbage heap, and their skins peep through by bones means they are so skinny, they are so thin, they do not get enough food to eat, and that's why they are so thin that the bones can be seen through the skin. And what is the worst thing of their lives? That they do not have even spectacles which are new. They cannot even afford to buy new spectacles. Their spectacles of steel are mended glass, means they are not able to buy the new spectacles. That's why they wear the broken ones. And these broken spectacles, they look like the bits of bottle on stones. Here, the comparison has been made between the broken spectacles, the broken glasses, and the bits of bottle. All of their time and space are foggy slum, so blot their maps with slums as big as doom. All of their time and space means their world, their lives, they are just confined to the foggy slum. We can see that the word fog, Foggy has been used again and again because it has a negative connotation. It means blur, not clear, dark, dull. That's why the poet here tries to focus upon the fact that their lives are dull, their lives are devoid of all the facilities, all the basic necessities of life. They even cannot afford to have the basic needs. They cannot satisfy their basic needs, and that's why they are so thin. Their bones can be seen through their skins. And the slum is like a blot as big as doom on the lives of these children, because here we know that they are devoid of all the facilities of life, and that's why this is a kind of blot, means again नेगेटिव connotation. ये बहुत बड़ा एक धब्बा है जैसे उनकी लाइफ पे, और वो इससे बाहर निकल नहीं पा रहे हैं. That's why he wants the people to take care of such children so that they can also live like us, they can also live like other children, they can also get proper education. Unless governor, inspector, visitor, this map becomes their window, and these windows that shut open upon their lives like catacombs. Break, oh break open till they break the town, and show the children to green fields and make their world run azure on gold sands, and let their tongues run naked into books, the green and white leaves open, history theirs, whose language is the sun. Here, the poet has tried to make an appeal to the civilized people, to the people who are in authoritative positions like governor, inspector, visitor, and all the people of the world who can help these children. The poet wants to here make an appeal that such people who can help these children should take the initiative to help them, so that the map becomes their window to the outside world, so that they can also enjoy life, they can also get better education. The poet here has mentioned the word catacombs, which means underground cemeteries. So, here their life is like the cemetery where there is no hope, where there is no light, where there is no life. That's why he says that let us come together and try to break such windows whereby their hopes are shut, their lives are blocked. That's why he says, break, oh, break open till they break the town and show the children to green fields. He feels that the children should be given freedom, the children should be given conducive environment to learn, they should be given conducive environment to progress, so they should be given freedom to run in the green fields and make their world, means they should also be able to live happily like other people, and they should be allowed to run on the sands. The word sand and green fields, they have positive connotation. They are associated with the positivity, and that's why here the poet feels hopeful that one day these children also will get an opportunity to get better education, and they also will be able to enjoy life happily. Here, the mention of books shows that the poet wants a better education, a quality education for the children, and that's why he says that those children, if they are well educated, then they would be able to raise the standard of their lives. They would be able to enjoy all the comforts, they would be able to enjoy nature. Education would enable them to write their own history, means change their lives. That's why he has compared here the, we can say, power of language, power of education with the power of sun. Again, here we can see that sun is a positive connotation. It is associated with the bright life, with optimistic view, and that's why the poet here ends with a positive note that one day he hopes that the lives of these children also would be changed, and they also would be able to enjoy life. Now, let us go through the theme of the poem. The whole poem revolves around the miserable plight of children who live in slum and study in the school classroom that is located in slum area. The poet has tried to show us how miserable their condition is, how sorrowful they feel, and he has also talked about the gloomy atmosphere that prevails in the classroom as well as in the slum. The poet hopes that if they get proper education, if conducive environment is created for them, then these children also would be able to change their lives and they also would be able to live happily. I hope you have understood the poem. I request you to watch another video which deals with part 2, that is figures of speech. Please watch part 2 for in-depth understanding of poetic devices. If you like the video, please subscribe my channel and also like it. Also press the bell icon to get the latest videos. Thank you for watching the video.